The next, I think, even more interesting topic is going to be the start. So it's about to profile a MICE destination, and the question is, do mega events guarantee mega success? Which means all over the world are mega events happening, and we like to figure out if these events helped to develop destinations or not. So please welcome on stage Karin Mentimäki, Director of International Market Development at Stockholm Business Region, with over 35 years of experience in the meeting industry, of large meetings, and both from the venue side and also from the convention bureau. I say hi to you because now you're so far away. Welcome as well, Sandra Lorenz, PR and Media Relation Manager, Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and from Tourism Portugal, also in Korea. Started in 1989, and you can clap a little bit more. Yes. Abdullah Yusuf, Director of Travel, Trade and Markets Development for the Department of Culture and Tourism, Abu Dhabi. He plays an integral role in managing and operating the Emirates travel and tourism industry. And last but not least, Amir Waziri, Event Director and Producer of Perfect Q, with again over 32 years of experience, unbelievable, in the production of more than 350 international events. Some of them had been quite big. So this is a quite international setting. Amir is again our, represents the side of the practical person, and we will see if the answers the destinations give are to his satisfaction at the end of the day. What I'd like to ask all of you, what is your future prediction in the MICE business for your region, and do you have any estimation where does this business in the future come from? Is it the same sources as we already learned this morning or this afternoon, the presentation, or will it change due to geopolitical circumstances? So maybe we just go down the road and you start with your assumption. It couldn't be more than...
About the future of large meetings. I think definitely there's a future for large meetings. We see now that everything's coming back since the pandemic. And the large meetings, the good quality large meetings are really coming back. And I think there's always a need to meet your friends, your community within that specific field that you're active within. And I think in times of uncertainty, as it is now, I think there's even a greater need to come together with people with the same thoughts as you are, or different thoughts, to discuss
good point.
Specific topics. I think that's here to stay. Been so many ups and downs through the years saying, oh, meetings are dead, but they will always survive, I think.
Sandra, what's your opinion about the future?
I'm totally agree with Karin. The future of MICE business in Portugal, and we think it looks very promising. We have several key trends indicating continuing growth and expansion. And yes, as you said, also in the pandemic, we thought, oh my God, and now? But Portugal has firmly established itself as a leading destination for MICE events, thanks to accessibility, to excellent infrastructure, to highly professional teams with high level of expertise, stunning locations. And our business comes from international markets, of course, also the European destinations for corporate and association plays a very important role, and with a strong emphasis in sustainability, technology, and of course also what is very important for us is to develop the regional destinations, so to spread MICE events all over the country. So yes, it looks promising. We are very happy, and MICE business is important to Portugal.
Okay, Abdullah, that's a completely different perspective. So you have Portugal, which is in this area a long time. You started more recently in this comparison of the destination. So what is your outlook for your destination?
You know, when we look at the region such as the Middle East today, where, you know, there is a lot of pioneer destinations that are competing against each other to get the best of the best meeting to their part of the world. You know, the infrastructure that they have, the airlines that they have, the support that they get from the private and the government sector enable them to host as many and as big events as possible. But what's even more important than that is how can you as a city link between hosting these international large events and your key economic and social priority of the destination itself. Destination that managed to identify what are these key priority and started to attract events that are relevant to these priority are the ones that are able to create legacies in the destination that long last and are more sustainable than just hosting an event.
Yeah. So again, the theme of legacy. Amir, from the practical side, what is your outlook?
Yes, as an event producer and an event maker, of course, I hope that the development which we are witness of since the end of pandemic would continue. I had the honor to be in Abu Dhabi last year, and I must say, amazing efforts to give possibilities, to make it possible for us event makers to have a great opportunities there, you know. And also Portugal, I have been producing many events in Portugal as a classic destination for events and conferences. And what for me is very important that we talk also about the culture of events. We don't need only big facilities, but we need also the support of local people there. That there is a culture of welcome when we go there, because I am sometimes ashamed because of me, all the streets are blocked. And sometimes I am the only person with my car can drive through the city. And I think, nevertheless, I am very positive for the future, yeah.
So the future looks bright still?
Yes,
that's
always. No, yeah, simply because we are human beings. We are social persons and we love events. You know, that's why I love my job for so many years, and to meet new cultures, new countries, and it's not going to end.
So you're right. Human beings could be sometimes good, sometimes not. I'm handing over the symbol again because I like to invite Abdullah to say a little bit about the mega events in Abu Dhabi and how they helped actually to involve the destinations.
Yeah.
So please go.
Thank you. All right. Try to see.
Yep.
Oh, this is
You wanna start? Portugal.
It's okay. I can pass it.
This is Portugal.
It's okay. Portugal can start.
It's Portugal first, Abu Dhabi second. To my schedule, Abu Dhabi is first, but
I know a little bit about this one.
Portugal.
We
go with
otherwise, I was
Portugal.
going to do the
okay.
presentation.
Shall I start then?
Yeah, we are spontaneous here, so it's...
Okay, so why Portugal? So why do MICE events in Portugal? So first of all, we have a strategic location and we have excellent air connectivity network. We have proven ability to host events. So we have unique venues. We have, as I said, highly professional teams and with high level of expertise. We are in the forefront in technology. We have also all types of hotels with excellent service, customer orientated. Just to have also to give you information, there are in pipeline around 200 new hotels for the next years in Portugal. Also, international brands of hotel brands are investing in Portugal. We have in Portugal, key sectors that really helps to attract international events. And these sectors are highly specialized and prepared and recognized. For example, we have a very strong and recognized scientific and medical community. For example, we are on the forefront on the research. For example, for oncology, we have a fantastic center in Lisbon, the Champalimau Foundation. So, of course, this kind of scientific and communities helps to attract and to bring events to Portugal. Also the renewable energies, the agriculture, and the manufacturing, so also plays a very important role. And Portugal is as you know, it's a country that everything is in a short distance, but we have a very diverse scenarios, and this allows us to attract also all kind of events, a small corporate event, or so I will showcase some events that we already have in Portugal. For example, the Web Summit. The Web Summit, you all know the Web Summit. It's a huge event. It started in 2016 in Lisbon, and since it started in Lisbon, this event grows tremendously. We have some figures from the last editions, and we have 70,000 people for this event in Lisbon. So this really has a huge economic impact in the city and also in the country. Portugal is a wine country, the wine culture, as you told, speak before, and this is very important. So we have the wine culture. So we also, I have here some events to showcase wine events. We have very special events. For example, this Chefs on Fire. It's really a very specific gastronomy event, because it combines hot cuisine in the nature and with high concern of sustainability. Last week we had the Michelin Guide ceremony in Portugal, also related to gastronomy. We have 8 new restaurants with Michelin stars, so we have also the contrast, and the gastronomy plays a very important role for us. Of course, the festivals, the music festivals are along the year and in different locations. So this has also had a very big impact. Due to our location, we have the sea, the Atlantic Ocean. So all nautical events and surf events plays also an important role for us. For example, we have the World Champion Surf League in Portugal, which is also an event that have big impact in the communities where the event is. And of course, corporate incentives are smaller events, but we always have a very special place in the hidden track, fantastic to organize corporate events. Then the ICA. So the ICA ranking, Portugal is in the top 10 of the ICA ranking, and this shows already the country's ability to host international meetings. And reflects the infrastructure and everything that we have, and the needs for Portugal to be in this ranking. And this year, last year, it was in Abu Dhabi, the World ICA Congress. And this year we will host the World ICA Congress in Porto. Porto is my city, in November this year. So it's very interesting, and it was also spoken here about the legacy and lasting legacy. At this moment, the Porto Convention Bureau is in strong contact with Abu Dhabi Convention Bureau, so that they can share last year Congress and the best practice, so that this is a legacy that continues. And it's also a very interesting work that is done between our two destinations regarding the ICA Congress. And we have in Portugal a financial sponsorship program, which is called Portugal Events. And this is a sponsorship to finance strategic tourism events with minimum investment of $500,000, and also for corporate and association events. And there is a surcharge in this program for events that are in the interior of the country, not in the main cities, but in the interior of the country and in low-density territories. So if you want to know more, of course, you can contact me anytime. And this is my presentation and why MICE plays such an important role in Portugal. Thank you.
We need this symbol of power. So it's good to hear that there is international cooperation on sun events. Amir, so it's as we really learned, it's some kind of profiling. So Portugal is, as we have seen in this image, very special in the look and feel already, and of course in the joining of what is there in regard of product and produce in the country and event industry. So is there really a big competition then on the market for big events, or is it so clear because the profiles are so clear? Or would you say, yes, some are clear, others are in a big competition set because they are so equal? So what is the situation in that regard?
Yeah, the situation right now is that we have seen in the last maybe 7 to 10 years the rise of the East Asia and of Middle East as a destination for conferences, MICE destinations. And of course, there's a kind of a competition between European destinations and the destinations in the Middle East and in East Asia. I myself have been living in China for 14 years, did events in China and in Asian Pacific zone. And I could see that there is indeed in this area big support from the governments. And I think in Europe we have the situation that we have very short ways. You know, it's much easier to organize an event for automotive industry in Germany to go to Barcelona or to Estoril or Lisbon than to motivate a big group of people to move to Shanghai, you know, and that's what we see. This destination in East Asia or even Abu Dhabi, when it comes to middle range events, up to 1,500 people, 1,500 people, is in competition indeed with Europe. But when it comes to real mega events, when you have to move like 10,000 people, 15,000 people, it gets a little bit difficult, because in the next panel we are going to talk about the sustainability issues which we have in Europe. But I think especially Middle East is a very good way to take this challenge by supporting the organizers in many ways and to providing astonishing locations and event locations especially. But I think the market is big and we are all innovative people, and I mean we are on a very good way to have to master these challenges and competitions.
So, Abdullah, so it's up to you now. So how you placed Abu Dhabi on the landscape of the world MICE market, please.
All right. Let's see if it's going to work this time. There you go. All right. I think it's quite unique that today I'm talking about mega events, and today at ITB we announced that we're going to host a SCIFT Global East Forum. Kate is here from SCIFT. Congratulations to both SCIFT and Abu Dhabi on announcing such an amazing event that's going to bring a lot of leaders from the travel industry to Abu Dhabi. So while we are here today to talk about, mega events, I think one of the points that we already started to talk about is mega is not always the size in terms of number of attendees. It can be the impact that an event can create. So 10 people in a room could have bigger impact than 10,000 people that may discuss a certain topic. So it's important to also focus on that element. For Abu Dhabi, when we look at a destination, we recently announced our 2030 strategy. The strategy is about attracting more than 9 million hotel guests to Abu Dhabi by the year 2030. That will help us foster and accelerate the development of the city by investing into infrastructure such as hotels, the airport that we announced recently, and road and transportation and others. So MICE events and the requirements of my event can be seen as an enabler to push the development of a city and take it from one stage to another. So mega events is not just about the sites. It's truly about the impact and about the legacy that it can break, and it needs to be a lasting legacy. A lot of the events that when we try to consider to bring to the destination, it always starts from a small conversation with the local community. It could be a small society of doctors that are interested to basically address a certain type of disease that are very common in the region, and they see a need to bring this event to the region. It could be a certain agenda or a topic that the government is kind of investing in and wants to bring that event to the destination. So it's really what legacy your city wants to create. So it's very important for people like us who are in the industry or related industry to first start from understanding what's the economic and social vision of the city prior to just going and running after events. I don't think it's very difficult to host any event if the objective is to bring any event. What's more important is what event will shape this city, the destination where you are in, and it will leave that legacy impact. But if you are a destination where you are going to bring government, non-for-profit, as well as the private sector to discuss a certain challenge that's relevant to the local community or even global community, there are certain things that you need to keep in your mind prior to considering hosting those events. The first one is about accessibility, and accessibility can be seen as from two perspectives. How to basically connect people from the world to your destination, and how to make sure that everyone has a fair access to even get to your cities. Part of the reason why there is a lot of MICE meetings that are shifting toward Middle East and the East as well is many of these governments understood the importance of MICE events and events in general. So they made visa processes, as an example, as easy as possible. When you look at Abu Dhabi and the UAE, more than 70 nationalities get their visa either on arrival or they are exempted from that. And the reason is because we see truly the impact of those events on the economy of the destination. Safety is a very, very key factor. When you look at the destination like Abu Dhabi have ranked as one of the safest destination in the world, the safest actually destination in the world, for 9 years in a row as per to Numbro ranking for safety. Hotels and venue, it's quite a common sense that if you are looking to host international events, then you need to have a good mix of hotels and also venue that can take not only large event, but also some niche event with specific requirements that may have. But nothing can complement all of this without having a culture in the destination that you want to share. Many of us who love to come to Berlin come for the Berlin culture that we want to enjoy, the food, the drink, and so on. So as much as we underestimate how culture is a key factor in how decision makers choose destination for future events, at least Abu Dhabi have hosted many events where the culture, the people wanted to know more about the Emirati culture have been one of the key factor that they decided on the destination. So earlier I was talking about mega events from an impact point of view. So in Abu Dhabi we have what we call it the Falcon Vision. So for the economy of Abu Dhabi, we identify the key sectors and verticals within the economy where we want to see events. And these are the events where we'll go and invest more or develop as homegrown events. So you can see from the slide itself that they are either advanced technology events or specific industry, being the finance sector, or it could be the culture and creative industry, which is one of the key pillars where in Abu Dhabi we are focusing on. When we look at some of the events and in terms of what have they delivered to the city, you can look at it from different angles. So an event such as Abu Dhabi Sustainable Week is one of those important events in the calendar of event in Abu Dhabi. This year we had more than 15 head of state in Abu Dhabi, more than 150 ministers from different type of the world. And all what it shows is the commitment of Abu Dhabi towards sustainability. We don't want to just talk the talk, we want to walk the walk together when it comes to these type of topics. When we look at Abu Dhabi International Petroleum Exhibition, you'll be surprised that such an energy event have shifted more toward focusing on green energy and sustainability. So we don't want to be known as just a global city that produces all. We want to also make the transition as per to our leaders. We want to celebrate the last barrel of oil that will be produced in the country, and the economy itself is diversing toward other sectors in line with this vision. Overall, we will talk later on about how MICE events is important and what city needs to look at. But my message here to everyone is, prior to looking at the size and the impact, look at how can these events, first of all, be sustainable, something that you can retain in your destination and anchor, so it can have a last long age in the destination.
Okay, Mayor. Thank you. Very interesting insights, and I have the impression that everybody somehow likes mega events but doesn't talk so openly about it because of other reasons. So maybe big is not always big or good. Karin, when we had the preparation for this talk today, you said a remarkable sentence that's not only to fill up hotels and hotel beds, but also it's about the talent acquisition, which is a completely different perspective. Can you tell me a little bit about that idea?
Absolutely. I think it's a bit of the same thing that you talked about from Abu Dhabi, that we work very closely with the attracting congresses, is in the same department as is attracting investments. And also we attract talents, and that is something that goes very well hand in hand. As the meetings we want to attract to Stockholm are the meetings that can do good for the different sectors we either are very strong within or a sector that we want to be strong in. I mean, we work very close with the academy and the different big companies in Stockholm like Ericsson, Scania, many of them really driving technology forward, driving green industry, mobility for Scania, for instance, to see what kind of meetings would they like to have in Stockholm, to use that meeting to promote what's going on. And also, it's a really good window to attract the scientists you need for a specific field. If you have heart cardiology congress, for instance, to attract the scientists within that field. So it really is, if we look at it, it's the same thing we work with, just different angles of it. And science, of course, is the most important parts in Stockholm. I mean, being the city for Nobel Prize, of course, we have a strong legacy when it comes to science. And to go forward with that is really something that puts Stockholm on the map in so many different forums. So that also makes the other MICE industry meetings come to Stockholm automatically.
Okay, so but then, to my impression, there is some kind of competition when it comes to the scientific area. You all mentioned it, and I think it's very crucial because of this fact that talents are rare in this very advanced technologies. And so is there space enough for everybody to develop, or you grab shares from the others? Please feel free to answer.
I can
I mean, it's very important to be focused, and I think by focus I mean is identifying your key strength as a destination from a knowledge point of view. One of the things we do very well in Abu Dhabi is we develop a program called Pioneers. So we went and identify scientists, key opinion leaders in different sectors, and worked very closely with them to see what are the chances of Abu Dhabi of hosting international mega events in the destination where that legacy can be also shown. So there are areas where we have key opinion leaders that are on global stage, on board of international association and organization, and they drive global agenda. And these are the events that we first set the priority to in order to host in the destination before any other event. And there are other areas where we work with, for example, the academia in UAE to identify potential topics that is of interest for the region to develop it. And we think that there is a lot of people from the region will come and share that knowledge together. One of the strength of the geographic location of Abu Dhabi itself is we also see ourselves a gateway to Africa. So a lot of the organizers, they choose Abu Dhabi because of the easy access and connectivity to Africa. And in addition, earlier I was talking about accessibility. The visa system in UAE is so easy that the chances of rejecting someone from sharing knowledge in such a platform is very unlikely. So.
As I see, it's already blinking. Our time is over, but I like to take the opportunity. Maybe everybody can ask him very briefly. What is the mega event you're looking forward to in your destination in this next 12 months?
I mean, we have a lot of the larger congresses in Europe coming to Stockholm the coming years.
Only one. You have to mention only one.
This year we don't have any mega event, perhaps. It depends on how you define a mega event. But next year we have 2 large congresses, hematology being one of them, with about, I think, 15,000 people.
Okay. Sandra, what are you looking for?
Well, I cannot say what event or what is the best event we want to have in Portugal. But we are, what I can say is that we want to choose events in Portugal that really have a strong impact, economical impact in the local communities, that attracts investment in Portugal, that creates jobs, that gives new business opportunities, events spread all over the country, and it's really about impact and legacy, what was already spoken here. So I would say what we want, it's a combination of the different type of events so that we can really achieve our goals.
Okay, Abdullah, you mentioned a precise event, please. You're looking personally or from the government perspective?
So the strategy is more toward the pleasure. Mm-hmm. So we anchored important exhibition throughout the calendar of events, and we try to complement that with even entertainment events. So earlier this year we had Coldplay, more than 200,000 fans in the destination. So that gave even the business traveler another reason to extend their stay while they are in Abu Dhabi. But I don't want to run away from your questions. So the areas where it's of focus to Abu Dhabi are AI, food security. There was one more I missed. But AI, food security are some of the hot topics in the region.
Okay. Amir, you have the last word.
Yes.
Very shortly.
Yeah, very short. 20 seconds. I mean, right now we are planning and organizing the Oracle Cloud World Tour worldwide. And in the pipeline is already next year. And the Oracle is extending the destinations from 11 to 21. So that means there's a very big chance that we are going to see each other in Abu Dhabi and Portugal and in Stockholm.
Oh, so you can just talk afterwards and make some business.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening, and we are a little bit run out of time.